Hello and welcome to this standalone video where usually we do a daily blog of life on our farm, but today we had this beast arrive and I thought, you know, we better do a bit of a comparison really between this and our JCB TM320S. So the machine we've got here, we'll have a little look around, is a Weidemann 9580T. Now we've had some small Weidemanns on the farm before in the past and we loved them as little demo machines. I think 2 ton, 2.5 ton. Now this one is a little bit bigger. This has a lift capacity of 5 ton. It's an absolute monster. Now in a minute we're going to pull the TM320S alongside it and then you can get a representation of just how big this thing is in comparison. Now the JCB will lift 3.2 tons, so 5 ton is, yes, a massive capacity increase. So this has the Weidemann headstock, although we have got a pin and cone adapter with the demo unit, so we can put it on, but just look how hefty it is. Look at the steel here that holds this thing together. The boom is really thick. And it's competing really with loading shovels. Probably places like AD plants, big farms, maybe they're used to a telescopic handler. There are so many benefits with that boom being able to just extend and give you that extra bit of reach that you don't get with a loading shovel. But the problem with telescopic handlers is they have always been limited to the capacity really. And I don't know of another machine on the market that's a telescopic like that that has the lift capacity of 5 ton. JCB's got the 420S, which is the one that's a little bit bigger than R320S. That should lift about 4.2 ton, something like 4 ton, 4.2. But 5 ton is going well above and beyond that. 155 horsepower in the bonnet. In fact, I've not actually had a look in here. Oh, she's locked. We'll have a look at that. We'll get the keys and we'll see under the bonnet there. But I think what we need to do is get the JCB out of the shed, pull it alongside and just see the differences in size. Just like to say a massive thank you to RMV who have provided us with this machine to have a go with and have a look round. We've even got it in the windscreen up here, look. So I'll pull this down the yard a little bit and then we can get the TM out of the shed and put them side by side. Now we have been using this today and I must say it's very easy to get on with. We've been mucking out with it. The capacity is massive. The joystick's very familiar. It's not the same as our JCB, but it's very easy to get your head around, and a day on it mucking out, I've mastered that. It is bigger, but it doesn't feel too out of place. Apart from when you look at this boom that's in front of me right now, it's just so wide and big. It's just built, this thing. It's like a JCB but on steroids. It's huge. Right, I keep saying we're going to get that JCB. I've not got it yet. We're going to go and get it, I promise. Let's go get her. Down the 4 steps to get out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It's all yellow and parked up in the shed. Let's jump on. The first thing I notice is how now the boom feels so small. So we're pulling the JCB up. Then we'll get him. We're touching bucket to bucket. And there she is. One versus the other. So you can see we've got a bit of height difference going on. Maybe when I pull them side by side, we'll see that a bit more apparently. Wheels wise, we're on much bigger on the Weidemann. Although the wheels don't look that big on the Weidemann because the actual machine's that much bigger. The light package on the Weidemanns, all LED, as is on the JCB. But this does come with auto lube, which again points towards the loading shovels. A lot of them nowadays are on auto lube, and that will just help with maintenance as we go forward. But to be fair, the JCB is on 500 hours greasing for every grease nipple apart from the locking pins, so it's not like it needs grease all the time according to the manual. You can see the bonnet's a lot smaller, but the JCB still packs a punch. That's 155 horsepower with it being the S, so it has got a lot of power to give, although that is it's like a torque converter transmission in that, whereas this is hydrostatic, and it's quick for the big weighty machine that it is, and it is nice to drive actually. Now getting used to the hydrostatic drive, because we've got the other JCB on the farm, which you'll be able to see in the daily videos. We've got a 53695, which is a sidearm, boom down the side of the cab job, and that has got the dual tech transmission, so we are used to that now, and having it on the Weidemann was quite nice, so we were used to that sort of style of driving, and yeah, it was a nice machine to spend a day in. Visibility, fantastic. We'll probably have a look at the cab in a minute. Do you want to have a look around the JCB? I suppose we ought to do if it's one versus the other. So as I said, ours is a TM320S, 25 plates, so this is fairly new to us as well. Camera on the back, because with the added emissions, the bonnet had to get higher. They added a camera as standard, which is really helpful, and actually we quite like this because it's in the cab. I'll show you now, and it's always on the right hand side there, so whether you're reversing, going forwards, going whatever you're doing, it's on, which is something that the Weidemann does not have. It's only on when you're in reverse, which is not such an issue. That's generally when you want the camera to be on, but also sometimes when you're then going forward and you're turning the back end, you want to just check where your back end is, and it's gone off on the Weidemann. So that's quite nice that that's in there permanently on. But I'm sure you can probably get a screen and you could make it do that in the Weidemann if that was something that was really a bugbear. It was just something that Ben mentioned earlier today, which I hadn't really, to be fair, come across as being a problem, but just one of the people that drive the machine suggested that that might have been an issue. But yeah, I mean, she's mucky. It gets used on the farm, as does the Weidemann. That's got used on the farm, and it's just an absolute animal. It's massive. It's even got, right, let's have a look at this. Check out the oil lines on this thing. It's got a free flow return at the front. It's got an electric plug at the other side, so you can power up implements. And everything is just like beefed up massively. Look at the front end of this, right? Compared to the front end on the JCB. Like it's nowhere near as big. It isn't. I mean, it's not a fair comparison. Probably the best comparison would be to put the 420S against this, but then I think this would even outbeef that. I've just noticed that actually we've got doors that's locked, but we've got doors at either side, which we've not got with the TM. You can open the side window, but you can't actually get out of it, whereas you can with the Weidemann. You've also got steps all around, and these mudguards are like got grips on them as well, which is good because that means you can get up there, you can clean your windows at the back, something that's very difficult to do on the JCB. So if, for instance, there were a bit of grip on here, it would make cleaning that back window a hell of a lot easier, because it's very difficult to do. If you wanted to do it by hand, we'd use a brush to get it done. But I will say the JCB is a lot more agile than this. Just the size of it, basically, and as being used to this machine, the Weidemann does feel more of a lump to move around the yard, especially if you're in a tight, confined space. But it's not like miles apart. You do notice it, and again, it's a hell of a lot bigger machine. It's difficult to compare, really. We're sort of comparing a Ford Fiesta and a Ford Galaxy, aren't we? Yeah, like that's the comparison we're going for. But I think each has a place, and I'd love to have something like that for mucking out, loading muck spreaders, filling the mixer, feeding out. Not sure. I don't think it's get around our sheds in the same way, and we'd have to get a bigger bucket. I mean, look at the size of the bucket on this Weidemann compared to our JCB. So the feeder bucket is probably one of the bigger buckets that we've got on the farm that we pair to the JCB, and it's just dwarfed by this Eastern Attachments Cherry Products huge bucket. There's also a muck grab that came with it, but we muck out with the bucket, so we'll have to wash that down for them before it goes back. Right, I'm just going to pull one next to the other. We'll probably line up the front wheels, maybe, see what we've got, then side by side. So I'd about call them lined up there. So the headstock sticks out a fair bit more on the Weidemann. So that is a bit longer at the front. You can just see that. I mean, the JCB is sat downhill a little bit from it, but the height is just tells a story, doesn't it? It's a lot bigger. Let's have a look at the back of the machines, see if one sticks out more than the other. Yeah, the Weidemann's definitely longer in the back. And it wants to be, that weight block wants to be hanging out of the back there, because to lift 5 ton you need some weight towards the rear of the machine. As we're looking in the cabs, we'll just put that back. What I will say about the JCB is the seat. With this armrest, and in the Weidemann there isn't the armrest there, and I could tell I quite like the feel of just resting on this and feeling a bit enclosed in the seat. So when I'm in there, I feel like I'm just going to fall out at this side or something, because I do quite like using the armrest in here. But that's about the only difference. I mean, in the JCB, the steering wheel moves. We can move it where we want, as you can in the Weidemann. Visibility is good in both machines. Does this have the edge? Potentially, but you cannot see in the JCB your wheel arches from the seat at the back, whereas you can see them in the Weidemann, probably because it's a wider machine, really. So I don't know if that's going to be a positive or a negative, really, because it's a wider machine, but you can see the corners of where your wheels are and stuff, so it does help when you're up against the wall. You do feel like you've got plenty of visibility in there. One major engineering difference between the two is, you see the pivot on this one? The pivot's there for turning left and right, but the actual pivot for the suspension, as you want to call it, is on the axle over there. Yeah. Hence why there is a lot of room above the tyre on the back axle, because it's got to have room to travel. Whereas on the JCB, it's all quite neat and tidy in there, because all the movement happens in this central part. So the back of the machine all twists in the centre here. So that makes, I'm used to that. I'm used to that way that the machine goes over undulating terrain, and I thought getting in the Weidemann with the back axle moving, it would feel a bit more unsteady or unnatural to me, but it didn't. It felt nice. And I suppose what Weidemann would say is that this is a lot stronger design. It's the way the loading shovels work. The back axle oscillates and it's more solid within the centre of the machine. But JCB, we've had these for probably 10 years or so now, maybe. We've never had a problem with that centre part not being strong enough or anything like that. So I can't say that that's a weaker design because we've never come across a problem with it. And we quite like the way that it does go over undulating terrain with it flexing in the middle. So yeah, both great machines. This one is just an absolute animal because it's so much bigger. Will JCB come out with a TM320S in the future? I don't know. I'd love to have a go on one if they did. And it's been really nice to have a blast on this Weidemann. You can see some of the footage from the day that we were using it on our YouTube channel. I'll try and put a link in the description below to this video. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. We really like it. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? Let us know in the comments. And if you've liked this video, remember to press like and subscribe, and then you can see what other stuff we get up to. And you never know, these firms might keep sending us stuff to have a look at and have a go with, which would be really nice because it just literally is a dream come true for me to be able to play with machines like that and have it on farm because you guys watch is literally like a dream come true, because I don't think ordinarily they would send us something like that, but they have, and I've absolutely loved it. So right, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.